Ngannou. You saw what AJ did to Ngannou? That's what a boxer was supposed to do to Ngannou.
Absolutely.
And Fury went life or death with this guy. And I said, hold on. What's going on here?
Mm-hmm.
And then laying 2 eggs against Usyk? What are y'all really looking at? What do you think you're looking at? Let's not play dumb. To be dumb is a choice by today's standards. To be dumb is a choice. With all this information, you see, back in our day, Calvin, we had to go to it. We had to like read newspapers. There was something called current events we had in school. We had to get encyclopedias. We actually had to go to the library. So there was some shit we didn't know. But today, all of you kids got something called a cell phone. You can Google and look up anything. To be stupid is a choice. This is why I don't talk up the Gypsy Fiend. This is why I don't talk him up. Because of characters like this in the chat who I've never seen before. You can't speak up on that guy. Now, we could talk boxing. We could talk strategically why he lost.
Right.
But what you're not going to do is talk up like he's a prince of a person, because he's not. From what he does inside the ring to how he conducts himself outside the ring. Right after Usyk beat him the first time, was he not seen in a public pub, drunk, rolling in the street with his dad? That happened. If that was a black fighter, y'all be dragging him. If that was Bud, if that was Errol, if that was Deontay, anybody, y'all would have so much to say. So let's keep it boxing. Usyk whooped his ass twice. You want to talk strategy, or do you want to give him a blowjob? What do you want to do? But if you're looking for feel good about that guy, this ain't the channel for you. I'm telling you how I'm coming straight up. Now, Jay being in that super chat, he says, you gappy tooth, ugly little man sausage. You getting it. You little middleweight. Hashtag salute. Salute to Jay Bean. Salute, brother. Now that I've gotten it off my chest. I'm still waiting for some cats to show up. Stormy, I want to go around the panel. What did you see as it pertains to Usyk's performance against the Gypsy Fiend, and where is he in history at this point? Because there's a couple of points I want to make about his place in history. And salute the Freedom's March with that super sticker. Salute, brother. So I'm gonna go around. I'm gonna start with Stormy first. Salute to you, Freedom's March. Salute, brother.
You're talking about Usyk?
Yeah.
Well, I had already said, that Usyk is he's an accomplished, decorated fighter with a pedigree, both through the amateurs, pros, the cruiserweight division, and now the heavyweight division. And he is the most accomplished fighter that Fury had ever encountered. In fact, if you look at Fury's record, which I did pull it up on BoxRec while you guys were talking, Fury has not fought a real decorated fighter. And there has to be a reason for that. I know that Emmanuel Stewart was quite complimentary of him earlier in his career when both he and D was around him. But when you look at how the paths moved, D moved into a place where he was taking on different types of challenges, and there were people that eventually started kind of shying away from him because of the threat of what he was doing to his opponents. Fury, it looked like they opted to take that route that you kind of saw them do with AJ, where they were putting him in scenarios where he was in very winnable fights. But as you alluded to earlier, he was not getting stoppages. I think Tay alluded to that. He was not getting stoppages.
Right.
And referees were helping with stoppages.
Yes.
But also what popped up along that during that time was things that are outside the rules of boxing.
Right.
And that helped him on his path to the degree that it's interesting that none of the sports writers who always have something to say about the black fighters and everything, if they slip, if they stumble, if they fall, if they lose, whatever, nothing has ever been printed up or anything about unsavory practices by the Fury camp and the fighter himself. So when you look at what Usyk was able to do was fight him in a climate where what was once familiar territory for Fury to get away with things, everything was kind of like now more under scrutiny and on the level. And when you're dealing with someone on the level and you don't have what they have, you're not necessarily on that level yourself, but you're there because you've been placed there, you've been put there. You get what we saw 2 times, back in May and in this one. And I keep going over the May fight in my head, and I think about that 9th round, and I'm like, wow, Usyk is a hell of a guy because as skillful as he is, as faith-based as he is, he still has some type of resignation or discipline to not do what really needed to be done. And I thought about, and I kind of mentioned this to you earlier in a private conversation you and I had, I thought about Ray Mercer and Tommy Morrison.
Yeah.
We remember what Ray Mercer did to Tommy Morrison, right? He left no doubt.
Yep.
To the degree that people were like screaming, stop it. You know, it's like, that's what he should have did to Fury. And if he had done that, which it was time and space to do so, that would have been the end of that. I don't think we would have even got to this past weekend. Right. But, you know, that's being what it is. So what I think about Usyk's accomplishments, having come through where he's come from, being a guy that was really a smaller man in the amateurs and has grown into his position, I've always been an advocate of an understanding that the best of the heavyweights are usually typically between 6 foot and 6'3". They usually have the size, the strength, the speed, power, everything usually within that framework. You can have every once in a while guys that are a little bit bigger or whatever, but that consensus, you know, you think about it through history, that's kind of been what it's been. And he falls right into that category. His accomplishments puts him right up there along the line of what was familiar about Evander Holyfield. And it says a lot about the rest of the division. It says a lot about the accomplishments and where fighters have picked up their skill sets and their lessons of being taught and trained. He's complete. There's so many other guys that are not necessarily complete. And even when we look at what are the perceived weaknesses that are being weak to the body, I know people say those things. We all, you know, you have your Achilles, you have your weakness. But if you run across people who can't take advantage and exploit it, and you're able to continue and maintain, that means you're doing something right, even if you're covering something up. But what we saw Saturday was just a total separation in class at the end of the day, a total separation in class. And I'm sorry I was a little long-winded, but those are my thoughts.
That's okay. I got one more question, and I'm gonna ask you the question. And when I ask everyone's opinion, I'm gonna end with this question. I want everyone to answer it. Tyson Fury, Hall of Fame fighter?
Fuck no.
Okay. So, right, he's not.
No,
so,
I mean, you know.
No, I agree. Are we to celebrate Usyk dominating a guy that's not a Hall of Fame fighter? I mean, he made the news for the wrong reasons. Okay.
Yes, we're to celebrate it. You know why? Ding dong, the witch is dead.
Yeah.
You've been going around here.
That part.
You've been going around here wrecking havoc throughout the division and ruining circumstances for other fighters and everything with the BS. Everything from the alleged cartel allegiance and all of that, the people having been tainted, the cheating. And when I say cheating, I'm thinking about the brother Cunningham, you know, what was done to him. And the referee Eddie Cotton told us about Fury. Then the other things when you can bring in the fighters who have evidence and effective circumstances where they were compromised through many different means. And the media never covered those things, always tried to be silent on it and everything, but it's right there. Our brother, who was a friend to the channel, Nicholas Asbury, shared so much information that lets us know that it's a real thing. But there are people out here trying to, you know, keep it covered up. But as our brother Cat Williams said earlier this year, curtains are being drawn back. Everything is coming on out.
And before I give it to Calvin, to all of my wrinkly sack watchers, we stand on that. Fury's not a Hall of Fame fighter. And it's a slippery slope celebrating this Usyk win because the better man won 2 times. And I want y'all to remember how y'all defecated on Deontay Wilder's resume. But somehow y'all celebrated like hell when he cheated Deontay out of his socks. So make up your mind. Do you celebrate the win, or do you celebrate him beating a guy that y'all said was not in the Hall of Fame? This is why I asked the question. Y'all can't have it both ways. Y'all are moving like modern women. Anyway, Calvin, my brother, your thoughts on what you saw, and in your opinion, is Tyson Fury a Hall of Fame fighter?
What I saw was a real technical heavyweight championship where Usyk pretty much, he had his number. He made the fight easier than the first one. And you know, he showed that he was the real world champion. Do I think that Tyson Fury is a Hall of Famer? No, absolutely not. I mean, not to say that he isn't good, not to say he couldn't have beat some Hall of Famers. It's just that he hasn't been champion long enough. He hasn't beaten great enough world champions in their prime. I feel like to be a Hall of Famer, you have to beat champions like Ray Leonard did in their prime. You know, like Pernell Whitaker did, like Mike Tyson did, and Holyfield did. Those guys, even Vladimir Klitschko, you know, he fought guys that have just come out the Olympics and, you know, undefeated, had won a gold medal and medals, and several Olympians, even just as myself as an Olympian, you know, he beat us kind of guy. So no, I don't think that Tyson Fury is a Hall of Famer. But Usyk's the real heavyweight world champion. He's real versatile and he's real hard for somebody to beat. And Tyson Fury lost to the best.
I'm sorry, y'all had to take that call. All right, absolutely, he's not a Hall of Famer. And this is a pro saying that y'all ain't no hate. He has no horse in the race. No horse in the race. So with that being said, let's go to Tay Jones, brother. I'm gonna let you cook. Go on in.
I don't believe that he's a Hall of Famer. Has he beaten some good opponents? Yeah, he has beaten some good opponents. But his resume is not worthy enough. Now, Now, on the opposite end, I would say if he, instead of having a lot of technical knockouts, maybe if he had, the knockouts where, guys was just getting pummeled, things of that nature, then that's a consideration. But considering that he don't, and then of course not really fighting anybody, and then of course we all know that he wanted to take a back seat to not fight any other top guys, and we've seen him retire before. And even when he came back, instead of going, right to the top. Of course, I understand that when you're coming back, you have a couple tune-up fights, but even then, you have a fight, and then you want to have more tune-up fights. Then you don't want to fight this guy. But you got the belts. You don't want to do your mandatories. So we've seen the same thing going over and over, repetitively throughout his career. So I don't think he's a Hall of Famer. But his country is going to celebrate him as such, and his promoters as well. They're going to celebrate him as much as well. But I don't believe that he's a Hall of Famer. Yes, he beat Klitschko, beat some of the current guys right now. You got your Dillians, you got the Chisoras, even the Chisora fight. I just think that there wasn't for me, right? I understand that it was a stay busy fight, but for me there wasn't any composition to even fight him. Like, what was the reason to fight, or just to say I fought back in my country? Didn't make sense. But I just don't believe that he's a Hall of Famer. But he has beaten some good guys. But it's like the other two brothers said, that when you look at his resume, he haven't really fought accomplished fighters, especially beating guys in their prime as well. So I can't give him that gratification.
I ain't trying to give him nothing because I'm a hater, but you already know what else is new. My brother Trick Nolte in the building.
Salute,
Give it to us, brother. Give it to us, brother, man. Salute.
How y'all doing this evening? How y'all doing?
What's going on?
What's good, Trick?
All right, Calvin Brock, how you doing, brother?
Man, doing good. Trick, how about yourself?
Good. Drew, how you doing, man?
Man, like I said, I can't complain, man.
All good.
Wife, family, kids, everybody healthy. Roof over my head, clothes on my back, food on the table. So, what more can I ask for?
That's good, man. God is good.
Hey, real quick. Somebody said, well, if Fury's not a Hall of Famer, neither is Wilder. Well,
You said neither is who?
But he said neither is Wilder. But my thing is, this man already got a statue. So being a Hall of Famer and a living legend is two total different things. When you're a living legend, you automatically a Hall of Famer.
Unbelievable. Wow. Meanwhile, Fury ain't have a statue until they cheated Wilder, and then the statue that they made, they had to put Wilder on the floor. You see what I mean? Exactly. This is crazy talk, man.
Hold on, check this out. They don't want to credit Wilder for nothing, but Fury got notoriety for having victory over Wilder that he didn't have before. Not even defeating Klitschko in a fight that he beat Klitschko, who was a reigning titleist. So what are you trying to say? Because if Wilder ain't that, did Wilder not make him? Just like Ali made Frazier?
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So
see what I mean?
To say foolishness, take that and stick it in your rear end, man, which you like to do anyway, because that kind of talk right there has no sensibility about it. You see?
Zero.
So you really saying that Usyk beat a nobody.
You see what I mean? That door swings both ways. Y'all can't have it both ways. Which one is it? Deontay got 10 title defenses. Every time Fury won something, what did he do? He retired. Klitschko's still waiting on his rematch. Y'all didn't hold his feet to the flames. D-Run and got that dude off the damn couch. and gave him all these opportunities. Man, y'all just stop, bro. Anyway,
And
Trick,
he
man.
did that because he's trying to fight his contemporaries. He's trying to fight everybody that's there. He wanted
That's
to
right.
fight AJ. AJ didn't want to look his way. He fought King Kong Ortiz. He fought Brazil. He fought Stavern. He's going. He had a checklist. He's going through fighting these guys.
And
Where's AJ fighting King Kong? Where's AJ fighting, Stavern and those guys? Nowhere.
And I'm gonna say something that y'all don't want. Y'all heard me say this a bunch of times. Usyk didn't want no smoke with Deontay, and that's the truth. I'm not making that up.
Mm-hmm.
That night we was in Brooklyn. When D fought Robert Helenius, Usyk was supposed to show up. He stopped short in California. Swear to God. And when they asked him about fighting Deontay, his response was, because you don't want to fight him. Why? Because right hand of God. Now you can take that what you want. It's easy to say, oh, he beats him. He didn't fight him. Just like the AJ fans, oh, he beats Wilder. They never fought. Ridiculous. But go ahead, Ant. Go ahead, bro.
Okay, I was taking it off mute. Yeah, I was listening to what y'all was saying. Now, I'm gonna disagree with y'all. Unfortunately, Tyson Fury, I'm gonna use the British Boxing Hall of Fame for a second. He'll definitely get in over there, but I feel he'll get into the one in Nevada, whether it's the Las Vegas Hall of Fame or the Nevada State Hall of Fame, based on the simple fact he fought there. He got 2 wins over Wilder. So the most likely, man, they probably gonna let him in there. You know what I'm saying? I remember like Scotty the Bulldog Olsen, I spoke with him. He's fought in Vegas at least 7-8 times. I don't even think he ever lost in Vegas. Matter of fact, he didn't. And he's not even in there. And sooner or later, at some point in time, they're going to put Joe Calzaghe in there. He only had 1 fight over there in Vegas. They're going to put him in there. They funny like that over there in Vegas. So I believe Tyson Fury at some point in time in the
end up there. Oh, yeah.
He don't get in there. They're going to put him in there. Before it's like going to the big one in New
They
York.
got to alter the criteria to put these dudes in there.
Oh,
like
definitely.
for instance, why is Arturo Gatti in the Hall of Fame?
Man, Turgatti, man. Man, Turgatti was good, but he wasn't a Hall of Famer. Like, it's
right? Like, he was a walking ass whooping. That's what he was. I'm not even gonna, he was fun to watch. But look at the resume and look at the accomplishments and look at who he fought. He was either they called him the blood and guts warrior because watching him was like watching a movie. A lot of times he got his ass kicked, but we loved him, right?
Oh yeah,
he's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he was the biggest thing to come through Atlantic City.
Yeah, and he's Italian, Canadian, and his people loved him. And okay, I ain't fronting on that, but when I say the criteria, yeah, Fury's going to end up in the Hall of Fame, but what's going to be the criteria? Because he was a big, tall guy.
Might end up in the Great Britain Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I mean, what's the criteria of the Hall of Fame? It's like when you say pound for pound. A lot of people don't know heavyweights ain't supposed to be on the pound for pound list. They're not, because all the fighters underneath the heavyweight division are supposed to be compared to the champion of the world. The pound for pound list was made because of who? Sugar Ray Robinson. They were saying if Sugar Ray was a heavyweight, stylistically, could he compete with Joe Louis? That's why they made the pound for pound. Pound for pound, an ant is the strongest thing on this planet. Because if an ant was the size of an elephant, the ant could pull 8 times of its weight. So pound for pound, an ant is stronger than an elephant. But 1D, he steps on it. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So what are we really talking about here? So I think Fury will end up, if you want to put in fat drug dealers, fat cocaine sniffing cheaters who are friends with drug dealers that's on the run, Tyson Fury's your guy. And Usyk just whooped on him because he's in the Middle East. We didn't have access to all of his steroids and everything else he was on. these guys can't have it both ways.
So you think Usyk was on steroids?
No, I don't think so.
But Fury was several times
Fury,
through his career, and he wasn't able to pull that foolishness about
in the Middle
pulling
East.
out of a fight as we get close to the date and having it rescheduled weeks later so he can cycle off of his BS. No, they got him over there, and he was bare boned. By the way, did you guys notice how nice and tight his gloves were the entire fight?
Oh, nice and
no
snug.
floppiness, no softness around the knuckle portions of the glove. It was tight. It was like it was supposed to be.
Yep.
But he was still slap boxing in there. I saw a few back fists. I saw a few waving, looked like he was swinging at flies. You know how flies flying around your sandwich and you wave your hand like that? I saw some of that too. Yeah. All of these things are factual. People can get mad and get all in their feelings and everything and be like, well, you're just no. These are facts.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah, Cal. You ain't really hear us go in on this guy Fury, man. But if you was active right now, I'd be telling you, you fighting that guy, do not fight him in the UK. Don't fight him in Vegas. All right. You send someone to his locker room to watch the hand wraps that know what they're doing. You check those goddamn gloves. We'd be telling you everything.
Drew, thank you for mentioning that. Did you notice that there were cameras in his locker room watching his hand wraps and everything? They didn't turn the cameras off and unplug them and stuff like that. And wave to everybody like this and pull one of these. Yeah.
Yeah, man. He can't cheat in Saudi, which is why he's been exposed. He should have been knocked on the floor by Francis Ngannou. That wasn't supposed to happen. I mean, really think about this. Fury was like the baddest man on the planet. He fought Ngannou, and Ngannou damn near beat him. Ngannou gets in there with AJ, and I'm like, whoa, that's the same guy that went blood and guts with Fury. AJ got him out of there so fast, like it was effortless. He knocked the shit out of Ngannou off of a feint. He just went like this. And Ngannou went like that and ate it, and that was it. I was like, yo, that right there, that's what was supposed to happen. But Fury couldn't do that, and then he's going life and death with Usyk, and he lost twice. Yeah, of course he went back to the UK. By the way, he had just got his license back in the UK. Hey, Brock.
Yo.
Did you know that Tyson Fury can't come to America anymore?
No, I didn't know that, man. I didn't know that. I have been keeping up with it like that, but you know,
he's banned from American soil. And ESPN don't talk about it. Ring Magazine don't talk about it. But when we found, you know why he's not allowed to America anymore? You know why he's not allowed here anymore? Because he was good friends with a cartel leader by the name of Daniel Kinahan. And because Daniel Kinahan, he's on the run right now. He's still at large. As soon as they said that was false and he's nobody, and MTK Global had I don't know how many fighters over there in the UK. They seized the whole company. The company went under. All those fighters had problems with their visas. They couldn't come to America. A lot of them couldn't come to America anymore. Fury got banned, and America put a $5 million bounty on Daniel Kinahan's head. And I can't believe at the time, Tyson Fury, the WBC champion, not allowed on American soil, was once all this celebrated guy because he beat the big bad Deontay Wilder. Nobody said anything about that. Nobody. But when I get on here and I say, I didn't make it up. I just say, look, do y'all know this? I'm a hater. I'm a hater. And I'm racist and everything else. I'm never going to look at Tay Jones dying laughing. This is true because it's true.
Drew,
they act like I made this shit up. It's true.
Did you ever finish talking with Art Hostage to find out if that farmer over there ever turned up, or did he remain?
Oh shit! I gotta DM Art Hostage. Cal,
Yo,
the dude, when Tyson Fury popped dirty in the UK, he said he ate it. He said he popped dirty because he ate tainted meat from an uncastrated boar. And there was a farmer over there that said, yeah, you know, I sold him the meat. Well, sometime later, he comes forth and says, I lied. They were supposed to pay me. They didn't pay me. So now I'm telling y'all the truth. Cal, this motherfucker went missing. Now, I don't know if he turned up. I don't know know what happened. I don't know if he withdrew what he said. But this motherfucker, his name was Martin Carefoot. I don't know where he is. I hope he's okay. But he fucking vanished. And he said, I retract my statement. I don't want nothing to do with it. They didn't pay me. It's whatever. And Martin Carefoot vanished. Vanished. The guy, Daniel Kennedy. Cal, Google the name. Google the name. When you're done with the show, Google the name. The guy's a Irish cartel leader. And he's on the run right now.
You know, it's like I heard about something like that. You know what? I did hear about that.
Yep. This
and
is all
that
real
organization stuff. Was moving in on UK promoters and managers and taking their fighters.
Barry McGuigan. He moved in on Barry McGuigan's
strong-arming the fighters over there.
This guy, there was an attempt on his life. He had to disguise himself as a woman to get away from an attempt on his life. He had to dress and drag. They went in there, started guns blazing. This is some movie stuff, but this is Tyson Fury's guy. This is Tyson Fury's guy. That's the reason why he can't come to America anymore. Now,
what about the doctor, Drew?
What's that guy's name? So, I just did a show on him.
Yeah,
Uzi, Dr. Usman. Yo, Cal,
the dope supplier.
This fight, there was a guy named David McCann. He was pulled from the card because he popped dirty. His dietitian or whatever the fuck this guy is the same guy that works with Tyson Fury. It's on his Instagram. And he says, he's on record saying, you know, it's easy to beat UK drug testing. He said that. This is what he said. What I'm saying is these are the people that are surrounding Tyson Fury. And that's why it boggled my mind when I saw Americans ignoring all of this stuff because they ain't like Deontay's skinny legs, which is homosexual in itself. But what's better? This 6'9", flabby, fat white guy. Did you see him yesterday? He looked like Big Hero 6.
It was disgusting, man.
He had a fucking inner tube. George Foreman, in his second run at the title, didn't look that bad. His shorts were not that high. His shorts were like an inch from his nipples. And y'all not gonna say nothing? This is disgusting.
Bad bod dad looking, man. That
this
was
dude looking like he's looking like a whole elephant in the goddamn ring with feet. He's in there looking like you remember Jabba Jaw, the cartoon? Jab, 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 Jabba Jaw. He's looking like that shark with trunks on. This is disgusting. I'm absolutely glad he lost because I don't like him. Everything that you don't have to like what I said, but how about this? If you deep watch me right now, tell me I'm lying. Everything I said is the truth. I ain't gotta lie on him. So when you say, "Oh, why you hating on Fury?" I just explained it to you. The man went to the Saudis and he can't cheat over there. He can't cheat. That's it. There's no fucking way. When I was in Vegas, there's no fucking way. Round 11, after Deontay dropped him on his ass, 2 times around 4, slowest count I've ever seen. Okay? Round 11, he's bouncing around like it's round 1. Unfucking believable. Let me take this call real quick, y'all. Trick, take it, Trick.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. You know, I've never seen a big man like that, you know, get dropped, get back up, and go back to basics by throwing the same type of punches, not even breathing hard or nothing. Never seen that before. I remember even back in the day when you got big men like Vladimir Klitschko, he had stamina problems. But this guy had Tyson Fury for what'd you say?
I said, you think?
You're right, yeah. So
he might have had stamina problems just against Layman Brewster. I tell you, after he got rid of Layman Brewster, man, that joke wasn't getting tired, man. That joke was hard to fight.
exactly, man. Whatever happened with that, you're right. After Layman Brewster, man, he wasn't tired no more.
Right.
Was not.
Yeah, but look at where most of those title defenses were.
There you go. You're right.
Right. They was Germany.
Germany, exactly. You're right about that.
Did you notice this, Cal, about his fights when he was fighting in America? Yeah, he was strong. He got some knockdowns. He was battling with guys, but he lost a few over here. But when he got over there, did you ever notice that most of the guys he fought cut real bad? They all of a sudden he was cutting people. What's that all about? Cut. You look man after man. Layman Brewster was cut when the rematch over there when he fought his brother. And there's something up with that. It's not incidental.
Yeah, I'm trying to get Miles Bailey on here. He's trying to get Michael Hunter to pull up too. So I'm putting in work. Stormy, take over for me 1 second, brother. 1 second.
I'm gonna say something real quick before you start. And
yeah, go ahead.
I was listening to Tay earlier. You're right about that Tay about Tyson Fury. You notice when punching through the target, you punch and you drive through, right? Tyson Fury it's a punch. It's a punch. It's nothing driving through. And
Right.
just during the time when he was knocking, when he got him and Wilder fought. You know what I'm saying? As to where he's fighting now, like it's more pillow fisted. You know what I mean? So my thing is, like I say, he over there fighting in Saudi. They on the up and up over there.
I keep laughing because I remember, I want to say, was the beginning of whenever his brother fought over in Saudi, when they had potential, talks about bringing all those heavyweights to Saudi. I remember being in the meeting. And hearing the things that you guys talking about now. And I spoke about it. I said it on Drew's channel before. I said it on my channel when I was going live. I knew for a fact that he can't cheat in Saudi. That was one of the biggest discussions over there. Turkey know it, and I don't really have to say too much, but I've said it before. That was one of the reasons why I picked Usyk the first time. I said, man, he can't cheat. He gotta, I know they was tested 2 times, at least two times a week. The first fight, I'm not sure about the second fight, but I know that it was heavily tested. I know that the conversations, what I said in on, I know what I heard, right? And that was one of the things that was brought up. He won't be able to use those tactics, won't be able to use the things that he's been doing, right? Even when he tried, I don't know if you remember, he tried to get out have the first fight set back. He tried to, and that's why you seen him sitting there with Turkey, because Turkey had to let him know, hey, we not doing that over here, So, but it was, it's funny because I sit back and laugh now, because same things I've been saying to hear you guys saying. I was made out to be this liar, or you didn't hear this, or you don't know this, and you don't know that. And all I can do is just sit back and laugh now, because it's funny because I hear you guys saying the same thing that I was saying years ago.
Even so, okay, I remember we were on live, and I bought something up that nobody probably even knew about, because me and Calvin Smith, we follow each other on Instagram. Mm-hmm. He told me about the time when Deontay Wilder and Joshua was in the same room, and you clarified that. Right. By being scared, how that look he had. Like I said, I didn't know nothing about it. It's like he told me it's like about 1.5 years ago. And then when I bought it up, you went back clarify. You was in the room that day. So yeah, now you ain't lying about that, bro.
Hey man, like I said before, man, I can only speak my truth, whether people like it or not. I can only speak my truth. But I'm used to being painted as the guy who don't know nothing or just a liar or whatever the case. I'm used to that. So it's like now that I hear you guys talking about it, it's like, damn, I feel better about what I said. Because I, like I said before, these things are not just brought to my attention. I'm actually listening. I'm actually, paying attention to what's going on, see things for myself, making phone calls. So and to sit in and see that, and then if you looked at if you saw the fight, every time he tried to get close to Usyk and grab onto him, you saw the referee breaking it up. They're not planning any of the tactic stuff. There was a picture floating around where he had his girdle all the way up to his nipples. Let him take it down. Even when I think it was like 3 years ago now, when I had uploaded a video of the third fight with the whole glove situation. But if you paid attention to what I was saying, that to the Nevada Athletic Commission, if you was paying attention to what I was saying, see, people was just worried about the gloves. I was actually talking to them about those gloves that they brought out. And part of it is my fault because what I didn't show is how normally gloves come like this. They come stacked on top of each other like this. Fury gloves didn't come like that. They was rolled up and they had a shoestring around them. That's a part that I didn't show. But what I also was trying to tell the Athletic Commission is this. You guys are trying to say your gloves come like this, but I know that is a lie. What people don't know is that during COVID, I was actually in the building when Canelo, I forgot who he fought that night, but Canelo fought in Las Vegas right before the third fight earlier that year. There was there was like 4 guys who also fought in Path and Gloves, who also had the same immense gloves, same style. The guy who fought Lawrence Okolie, on that card, he had Python gloves, and they was the immense style. They didn't come like how Fury gloves came, nor were they wrinkled or anything of that nature. Although they are immense, and I understand the style and how they loosen up and wrinkle a little bit, right? But they were not the same as the guy that Lawrence Okolie fought. But again, like I said before, we have to listen to the audio. People never paid attention to the audio and just made it seem like, oh, I don't know what I'm talking about. I know specifically what I was talking about. And still to this day, like you guys said, you see no floppiness. You see everything tight. You see no dent. You see no soft areas. You saw that in the last 3 fights. So when I spoke about Turkey and the conversations that I've been able to listen to, and I know for a fact what's not going to be allowed, and definitely some of the tactics and the cheating that he does, they are very well knowledgeable about, and that's why you don't see them happening.
The last time he got away with some foolishness was against Dillian White in Wembley.
Yeah. When
he hit Dillian White with an uppercut and shoved him to the canvas, and they called that a knockout. But it was illegal.
I'm sorry, because I know, Cal. I know you gotta bust some moves, man. Thank you for joining us. I ain't gonna hold you up, brother. Thank you for joining us. It's always great to have a professional, an extra professional opinion, brother. We're gonna have another, around February. We're gonna have another loaded panel. We're gonna have a loaded panel before the Bivol and Beterbiev match, and that whole card is gonna be incredible. And I would love your thoughts on that, man. But I ain't gonna hold you up, good brother.
Okay, well, I appreciate you. Thanks, Drew, for having me on, Stormy, fellas, Trey, Nick, Trey.
All right.
Appreciate it. Enjoy the time with y'all.
Yes, sir. All right, now. All right, Stormy, go ahead.
No, I was just saying that the Dillian White fight was the last time he was able to get away with the foolishness.
Yeah.
And that happened in Wembley in the UK. So that means that they still allow him over there to get away with some of the stuff. And isn't it amazing that how stacked the sentiment was to see him, when guys pick, they have conversation and they say, who you got on the fight or whatever.
Right.
All the noted names of people over there, even Simon Jordan, who has really been a critical guy of people at different times for different reasons, and he has his own biases and everything. He had been swayed, which means somebody got to him and told him, hey, you better stop talking against Fury so much. Otherwise, you know what? We'll get you. And he changed. He flipped. But if you know boxing and know these circumstances, like Tay says, that what he ain't going to be able to do over there, pedigree means something, man.
Sure does.
He has never fought someone that can really box like that guy boxes. He can fight. He's accomplished. And did you notice how Usyk always made the fight? He was coming at him, coming after him, getting at him. Not recklessly, using movement, using angles, touching him here, touching him there, making certain that he pushes him in his pillow, you know, and he was doing these things very effectively. And that extra reservoir, that gas tank that Drew mentioned, that amazingly was there after brutal battles against Deontay Wilder. And in the late rounds, Deontay dropped that man a couple times in that last fight. You should have been counted out on either one of those knockdowns. And he still gets up, and then he's in the later rounds, the 10th and 11th rounds, like bouncing around like it's round 2 or 3. No, he wasn't doing that against Usyk, was he? He was kind of suspended, looking to hold and tie up and stuff, and not always tactically trying to lean his weight. He was dying up because he was gassed. And
you know, it's funny you say that, because I'm reverting back to, I forget which round it was, but I hear Sugar Hill say, let them burn out of gas, let them run out of gas, you keep doing what you're doing. And I'm thinking to myself, just because you're in the middle or center of the ring, it can mean that you're controlling the fight, but that wasn't what was taking place.
Right.
The slick stuff that Usyk was doing, every time Fury was trying to, you know, sometimes he was trying to a stiff jab or he'll throw the flick jab, but every time the stiff jab came, the underbody hooks, I mean, it was a catch. It was done at the same time. Every time Fury threw the jab, he'd catch it and throw the hook to the body. And I was punching with him, paying attention to that. And then whenever Fury would try to throw the uppercut, that's what he was waiting on.
Look at this ridiculous shit right here.
Man, that shit funny.
Whoa!
What? Now look.
That's
now
funny,
look, man. Now look. Now look. That's a little bit Photoshop, but I got the real picture. Is there any much difference, man? Look at that. Come on, man. Come on. Look at that. This is ridiculous, man. Are y'all for serious? Oh, why those damn trunks that high? I mean, what's a low blow? What's going on here, man?
I don't know, but that's crazy, man.
Bro,
man,
that man came in at 280 pounds.
Man, you know what? Like I said before, right? I don't believe that he was 280 pounds. I believe he was every bit of 275, 272. One thing I do know and can tell you about Fury, he's a big manipulator, right? I believe I was on your show before, Drew, when I was like, yo, he's really not 6'9".
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I
That's
said
right.
he's really not 6'9". I mean, he's 6'7". You know, if you have him and Deontay stand next to each other with their socks off, shoes and socks off, like I've seen before, they're eye to eye. And
Same height.
right. So it's just, you know, he manipulates things. And then, like, of course, like with the whole glove, you know, people are trying to say, no, that's his hand. He got long arms. How in deep excuse me, I mean, how you gonna have 6 inches extra? That doesn't make sense. Right? From the bottom of your tape, you're gonna have 6 inches extra. That's never gonna happen.
That's not normal.
Right. So I believe like Usyk, Usyk said something about it yesterday during the post-fight press conference. And he was like, I don't believe it either. Believe that he, you know, just had big jacket on, had boots on, probably had some weights in his pocket, things of that nature. So that's what Usyk said, you know. And I'm right there with Usyk, you know. And I think that was just to you know, play mind games, because that's what they like to do over there. They like to play mind games. And you know, and those are things that you can't fall for, especially when you find a guy like him. You know what I mean? So I just don't believe that he was 280, because that wouldn't make sense. I mean, now what I did do is listen to multiple people who had something to say about the weight gain leading up to the fight. And I was just thinking to myself, whatever people are saying don't make sense. Why would he put on damn near 20 some odd pounds, 40 pounds, something like that? Why would he do that to go forward? He don't need to do that to go forward. He's already the bigger fighter, regardless of the fact. He's the bigger fighter, the taller fighter. So there's no reason to put on weight to come forward, right? I felt that he put on weight because people say Usyk can't punch, and you saw what happened in the 9th round of the first fight. So I believe that's why, you know, if that was the case, he put on a little weight, right? But he didn't put on 280 pounds. I'm just not believing that. But you know, it was just to accept those punches coming. And I was seeing people saying, "Oh, he doing that to go fight forward like how he did Deontay." You got to be one stupid prick to believe that he put on weight to go forward. Got to versus a guy who's already a mover, versus a guy who is highly skilled, versus a guy who already pivot and punches out and going in. You got to be fucking retarded. Excuse my language, but you got to be retarded to believe that, right? There's no way possible that he's going to put on 20, 30 pounds and then go chase a guy down. That sounds foolish.
That is stupid.
Right. So it only led me to believe that he only put on, you know, some of the weight for punch resistance, right? And maybe he wanted to try to lean and, you know, things that go forward, but it wasn't no reason to put on weight just to go forward. That sounds ridiculous.
You're just a big moving target, but not really moving. You're moving into the to the kill zone. That didn't make any sense. You know what I really think? I think that Team Fury waved the white flag. They couldn't deal with him. So you're right. I think they added that weight for the punch resistance, which boggles my mind. Gaining weight doesn't help your punch resistance, man. Either you can take a punch or you can't. Now, adding extra poundage on your trunk, that's also stupid. How do you help your trunk or punch resistance? You better get down and do some sit-ups.
Right.
Just do some sit-ups, man. Work on your breathing. Take that medicine ball and go up against your gut. That's how you increase your punch resistance. You don't eat Cheesecake Factory and get a big old belly. That don't help. Trust me, it don't help. That's ridiculous.
Right.
Hey, Drew, how about this? My bad. I'm sorry. Well,
go ahead, bro.
When have we ever seen Tyson Fury doing any type of cardio? I've never seen him jump rope.
I've never seen it.
I never seen him doing
it once.
Work. Really? I've never seen it.
I seen it once.
I've seen it once.
You remember when he was somewhere overseas and he was drunk trying to get into that cab? The next day he went jogging with a Scottish gangster. Hey, I'm all right now. He was running with this Scottish gangster. I have the video.
Joker run. I just never seen it, but at the same time, it's like, you know,
he don't run, man.
Yeah, no cardio.
He might ride a bike. He don't run.
Dude don't run anything ever. And you know
Dude
what?
Don't run. He drinks.
And me and Stormy was talking earlier. And Stormy, you said something to me. We was talking about his weight. said something about his weight that got. I can't remember what it was. Remember we was talking about, you said something about his weight, about Fury and his weight. I'm getting old, man. But we had a discussion about it.
About Fury weight?
Yeah, me and Tom was talking earlier today. It was something about Fury's weight, man.
I was saying that that's not a conditioned fighter. You know,
basically, go ahead. Cook on
yeah,
this. I'm sorry.
He's not a conditioned fighter. Listen, man, the guy, you can't be training, and Tay knows this. You're a professional. You actually have a background in sports medicine and all of that. You can't be training and look like that.
Impossible.
You can be in the gym, but that means that you're not dedicated. You're just living the life, and you show up in the gym and you messing around or whatever. But a fighter that's training, you got to put the work in. And when Drew showed us that picture of the bad bod, that's not from a guy who is trained from 3 months.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
He said that he trained for 12 weeks for that fight. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Who's his trainer? Who's his dietitian?
If you believe that, it's like, come on, man. But see, I said this about Fury going into this rematch for Usyk. Usyk had trained for him, knowing everything that we've talked about. Usyk knows those things. His people knows those things, which is why he ain't got no problem fighting them over there, because he knows he can't get away with the foolishness over there. But he was prepared for Fury to do everything that Fury is known to do, tactical wise. The leaning on you and pushing you and maybe illegal blows here and there. Usyk was trained and prepared for all of that. But what happened is reality kicked in for Fury. Knowing that he didn't have his special help, his Felix the Cat bag of tricks. He didn't have all of that. So, just like those people that told Nicholas Asbury, we're trying to build his confidence. They couldn't build confidence for him going in against such an accomplished fighter. They had to, in the words of Ben Davison, roll the dice, and hope that he could get lucky. But guess what? His boxing skills are not that damn good. Explain to me this, and I talked about it earlier. You 6'7", you got an 80+ inch reach. He's 6'3", 78-inch reach, I think that Usyk has. A southpaw, Usyk is. A southpaw's Achilles is a damn good straight right hand. Right? 8 days out of the week, and there's only 7, right? So, if you got a reach like that, regardless if he's a bouncer, a mover, or whatever, there's a line that you can draw in the sand.
Yep.
A Mason-Dixon line. You cross this, and there's danger. But a real good boxer can put it on you. Pop, 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 boom. You never saw that from Fury. You know why? Because he's been huffing and puffing and bluffing this entire time, because that's not who he is. But given the fact that he could do those other things, it gives the illusion that that's what's there. If he was a good boxer, he wouldn't have to lean on that smaller, shorter, heavyweight opponent of his. He could take him apart systematically, just like Deontay Wilder did against Bermane Stiverne in their first fight. Do you guys remember how D was popping that jab and keeping him at the end of his punches and everything?
That's right.
And Stiverne felt that right hand a couple of times. That one time when he went in there and he got hit, he was hurt, and he drugged Deontay to the canvas.
Tackled him.
He was trying to survive. But again, because he drew that line, he was like, you come across this right here, and I got something for you. Fury doesn't do that. You know why? Even against Dillian White, he didn't do that, because is all bull crap. And Usyk knows it, which is why Usyk was in pursuit. Most of the fight, he didn't hang inside too long. He'd get off to the side or he'll get outside.
That's right.
But he knew these things. That's ring IQ.
Tay, let me ask you a question. What is Fury's plan B all the time? He has a plan A, and when that gets nullified, what is his plan B? Because this is what me and Stormy was talking about. His plan B. I don't know what his plan B is. What
as far as like in the fight?
In the fight, what is his plan B?
Well, I know when we was fighting him, you know, we know he can fight southpaw, right? So he'll try to like, and he did it. He actually did it to Usyk. He would try to like cheat and do a backhand slap. He tried to backhand Usyk. I don't know if people caught on to that, but that was one.
He was like a slap.
That's what we were talking about earlier. That's what I was talking about.
That was one of the things that we had notated in camp. You know, he'll switch stands and he'll like, you know, he'll throw the right hand, but he'll if he overexert himself, he'll be in the southpaw position, but he like to backhand you with the same hand he threw the right hand with. He like to backhand you with it, and he can switch stands and then of course fight you out of southpaw position. But he's only going to fight you out of southpaw position if he feel that you don't have any power or he's just that much better than you. He's not going to switch. He's going to continue to take that action of being southpaw. And then, of course, you know, cheat.
There you go. There you go. That's it. That's the plan B.
Plan B is plan C, cheat.
That's what it is. He goes in there with a game plan, and when it stops working, in lieu of the drugs kicking in, that's why I really wish Steve had time to jump on the panel with us, with Steve Cunningham. Because Steve was whooping his ass.
No, for sure.
And then plan B was to lean and, you know, elbow. And Eddie Cotton said he's the dirtiest fighter I've ever had to officiate. And I had Andrew Galata twice. That's the plan B.
Tell you guys this, believe it or not, you know, everyone knows that have watched boxing on a regular knows that Usyk does have issues when you go to his body, right?
Yeah.
Don't you all wonder why Fury didn't go to his body more than he did? You want me to tell you why he didn't?
Go ahead.
Because Fury has long arms, which it prevents him from being able to fight well on the inside. But in order to punch to Usyk's body, he's punching down at a shorter guy, which is leaving his chin wide open. And you just heard Tay mention a moment ago that when he would throw certain shots, Usyk was great at parrying, countering, and punching with him with the correct counter punches.
Mm-hmm. It was real slick
with it. And so Fury was afraid of Usyk's counter punching. That's how he got in trouble in the other fight. So he was not going to risk getting hurt. And I say hurt because he was hurt in that first fight. Big time. Yeah. People could say it was a lucky shot. No, it was a precise shot right on the button. And he got shook. I won't say hurt, but he got shook a couple of times in this fight. But to go reach down there, when you reach for things, you're going to get your pocket picked. And he would have to reach down for the guy, and boom, they're coming over the top, and that's less space for Usyk to have to travel, because if Fury's arms are way down here trying to work the body, and they're long, he can't get them up to protect himself quick enough. This is the science of the sport, and his footwork is so good that he can get the angle and perfectly get those shots off on him. I keep talking about the man being knock-kneed and slew-footed. Yeah. Usyk took advantage of that as well. You see, if it was Muhammad Ali fighting Tyson Fury, Ali would be one of the rare people to point that out. You ain't never heard nobody but me mention that. He's knock-kneed and slew-footed. Ali will be like, ain't no man that's knock-kneed and slew-footed gonna whoop me. With all my fluidity and my movement and everything, I will make him trip over his own legs.
I keep telling y'all, when that motherfucking Fury stands straight up, his legs look like the letter K. His talent is him being 6'7" plus 2 inches. That's his talent. That's it. If Usyk was 6'9", he'd be a problem. He'd be a worse problem.
Well, he's already a problem because he did exactly what he needed to do. That movement and everything, he was keeping Fury off balance.
Everybody put a K in the chat for Fury's legs. Put a K in the chat.
That's one of the things that me and Deontay was talking about today. You know, we was just, because he didn't see the fight, but, you know, of course he heard about it, right? And one of the things that me and discussed previously, you know, he had already knew that Usyk would win again. He was just like, man, what people don't understand and don't give Usyk credit for is the skills that he has. You know, Deontay definitely a big fan of his skills. Said, man, he was like, man, he got a punch for everything you do. And that's something that I noticed after we've, you know, discussed that point. That's something that I noticed within the fight. For everything that Fury did, you know, and I don't see how people say, you know, they had it 6'7" and all that stuff. Like I don't know what fight they was looking at.
That's
but
crazy.
The underbody work that he was putting in for every punch that Fury had, you know, he had a counter or he had something else for it, you know, and the way he was trying to get in, the way he was going up under the punches to maneuver to get in. And Deontay was telling me, he said, bro, that's hard to deal with. He said, but then again, you got to have skill to do it. He said, I guess I don't got enough skill to do that.
Listen here. Hey, check this out. I had the fight scored 9 rounds to 2 with 1 even for Usyk.
And that's the same thing the AI had, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah, I had it 8-4.
I wasn't gifting anything. I was just looking and assessing, you know, and from what I could see, Fury was handicapped by his own mentality because he doesn't have the fortitude, the mental capacity to do those things that I just spoke about if you were a good boxer. And if you're trying to wait for a guy like Usyk to make a mistake, you're going to wait till Kingdom come. Because it ain't gonna happen. You know what I mean?
Hey, sidebar.
A guy has to take risks against a guy like Usyk.
Yeah.
And he didn't want to do that because he got hurt.
He didn't take any risk. Except for I forget what round it was. One round he tried to come on, but then again, and it kind of looked like Usyk was, I'm not gonna say buzzed or anything.
I think that was round 9.
He had it was early in the fight. It was early in the fight, but he had to take a step back. And once he took a step back, he resettled himself.
Wait, hold on. You talking about when he landed that right hand?
It was like an uppercut to the body. He backed off for a couple, maybe like a minute.
Yeah.
You know,
that was round because Usyk backed up, sucked a little wind because he did something 2 times. There was a point where he backed up and smiled at Fury and then went back in the pocket.
That was the right hand. He threw a right hand and smiled at
Fury.
That was right hand. No, I'm talking about the uppercut to the body. It was a good one. It was early, not the one that was a low blow, but the one that actually landed. It was a good shot. But I saw the poker face, and I was like, okay, you know, but what happened is he actually got right back into the fight. You know, he sucked it up, got right back into the fight, finished the round. And I believe that a lot of people was buying too much into the celebration after the round, going back to the corner, waving your hands and doing all that silly stuff. That don't mean you want to fight, you know. And then you know, some people listening to the commentator and stuff like that. Like I don't see how. Like even I believe when I was watching the fight, I was also looking at the odds. At one point, they had Usyk like plus 220. I said, "Oh hell no!" I put $100 on it. That wasn't the same fight that I was watching. I'm like, "Oh, I know I ain't retarded," so I put me $100 on it. You know what I mean? So
Yo, what's this? What's this shit? Y'all see this thing making its rounds? Talking about Fury's gloves now during the Usyk fight.
what's that?
Y'all seen that?
No,
What's
I
that?
haven't seen nothing.
Okay.
Fury has some suspicious gloves on under Alexander Usyk rematch, my people, just like he did at the Deontay Wilder fight. You can tell right here, his hand is bending all the way back, which is crazy. Look at this photo. His wrist is completely back. That's because it's not his wrist. The glove is a little bit more up front, leaving nothing in the inside, so he can have all long reach with you.
No, I disagree with that. I disagree with that because his hands were in those gloves. You heard me say that earlier today. See, now people want to say stuff like that.
Now people want to talk now. Now they want to talk.
No. When it was so obvious, when the damn glove was doing this shit, huh? He was waving his hand so much. If you had somebody playing a little clarinet, a snake would come up out of a damn basket because
I don't.
the glove was waving so much. No, man. But anyway,
You mean the time when Ben Davison DM'd me and telling me, oh, they was pulling up his glove, but
yeah,
Ricky
pull
Hatton
me
was
glove
pulling,
up.
but Ricky Hatton was pulling it down. You mean that time?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that was the first fight, wasn't it?
But people don't know I got those
That was the
messages.
first fight. That was the first fight.
People don't know I
Yeah.
got those messages.
But what
I don't want to. Look, we said all we could say about that goddamn thing. All right, and nobody want to listen. Cool. We said what we had to say. So now what y'all gonna say? Usyk whooped his ass. What that mean now? But Deontay was supposed to do it? Man, Deontay was fighting Daniel Kinahan, drugs, Martin Carefoot's pork balls, the mafia, the Irish mob, and you
bought and
stupid
paid
ass
off
man.
judges and
Paid off
referees.
judges. Tell you, remember when you called me and said, no, remember when I called you and said, yo, did you know that they switched the ref?
Yeah.
Man, bullshit. Right before I flew out to Vegas, I said, yo, they switched the ref.
Yeah.
Didn't even know. And you know what you told me? You said, all right, well, he got to go in 4. I'll be damned. Y'all had him in 4. We had him in 4.
Listen,
But that fucking ref.
I was adamant about that too. And I think when you told me that, I called D and told him, and D was like, what you mean? He didn't even know either.
You see what I mean? That's big news. And then when I said, why do I know that name? And when I went to Google, I said, this is the dude from the Beckham Abner Mares shit. I was like, yo, how does he get this assignment?
Yeah.
And now you see.
Yeah.
and see, never forget Jack Reese, man. First fight. You know, he said he did what he thought was for the greater good of boxing. Well, whoopie freaking do. When did you become a damn guru that you can actually make decisions for the greater good of boxing? I thought you were supposed to make sure everything is legal within there and you call the rules of the fight and everything. You're doing too much.
Right.
He said that shit out loud, and I could believe it, but no one. All right, yeah, we just talking.
Yeah. Man, had he did his job the first time, hey, my bad, Drew. Had he did his job the first time around, we wouldn't be talking about Fury. Or
We'll be talking about it.
I take it back a step even further. If Steve Cunningham had got rid of him,
Listen,
that's
I've seen Jack Reese stop fights when a guy gets hit a couple of shots and go into the ropes and he's hurt, and he jump in and wave it off.
Yeah, I've seen
That
that.
man
He did it
was
on
laying
ESPN.
on his back. He was laying on his back, motionless, with his eyes fixed to the lights on the ceiling. And Jack Reese got down on his knees over his body and was yelling at him. He was yelling the count, but he might as well be saying, please get up. Please get up. True. And Fury woke up, and then he crawled, and he slowed the count down so he could get him up to his feet. And Fury, never forget this part, Fury put his hands on Jack Reese's shoulders like this.
That's right.
And Reese took his hands and moved them off his shoulders. all of that is indication that he really ain't ready to go, but he was supposed to be waved off while he was on the floor. Now, anybody that watched me, you know, I said this, and I'm not just saying this because Tay is on here with us, but I said this when it originally happened. I said, if with the way that Deontay punches, if that fight was let to go like it did, and that guy go back to his family that night or the next day, and he fall asleep and he have a brain bleed or something,
That's right.
I would blame Jack Reese.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're talking about the health and welfare of the fighters, not trying to promote and push a guy because he's of a certain ethnic background to win the fight or have a chance to finish the fight. Because at that time, it was about going the distance with Deontay because Deontay was stopping everybody.
Right.
That's what that was about. And by he going the distance, they give it a draw. And now that we're removed from that, it should have still been a decision for Deontay. But now that we're removed from that with a little bit of time and space, they're trying to say, oh, well, if you really look at it, Fury won all 3 fights. What the hell are you talking about?
Not a goddamn thing. Now, let me say this. Let me read the super chat because there's something DOG said that I want to touch on. CO189 in that super chat, salute, brother. He says, funny how Rocket Raccoons can see him cheating against Usyk. Yeah, exactly. Now they want to talk about it, right? But I want to go to what my brother DOG said. He said Usyk getting praise for fighting a heavier man, but Wilder don't get the same praise. Yeah, let's talk about that. I wonder if Stephen A. Snitch is calling Usyk stupid for fighting an almost 300-pound man. I wonder if he's calling him stupid. Tay, was there ever a fighter that D fought that outweighed him any less than 20 pounds? Can you name one?
Not at all.
See what I mean? And all them niggas went to sleep or at least got knocked down at some point.
Yeah.
But the Deontay gets called stupid. Where was Stephen A. Snitch right before Usyk and after the weigh-in? Why didn't he? Why, you know, what? I guess he ain't gonna say nothing because he won though, right? But this is what D's been doing, at least 10 title defenses.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, did Stephen A. Snitch even give his opinion on the outcome of the fight last night? Did he even say anything?
Oh no, you probably gotta watch his YouTube or something, or watch it tomorrow morning or something. You know, I don't know. I don't really keep up with dude like that because he.
Me neither.
Yeah, I don't really keep up with dude like that.
You know, but he called him stupid. That shit went viral for me.
Right.
Stupid? Come on, bro. That's fucked up.
Right.
That is fucked up.
Yeah, Steven,
You know,
I really don't listen to a lot of people though, for real.
You know, you can't.
Yeah,
You can't.
man.
Like, you know, we had a maniac in here before the show even started. You know, but you know, he's what I call a YouTube industry plant. You know, you started your page in September, and now you want to salute and high five like you've been here the whole time. But you know, you want to throw rocks and leave. I told him, stick around. I'll address everything you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
He says, oh, well, Fury went to the UK and knocked out Dillian White. Yeah, in the UK.
Right, and look, and I made a statement, right? I said, if Anthony Joshua was to fight Fury in the UK, he would get knocked out. But if Anthony Joshua and Fury fought in Riyadh, Anthony Joshua may knock him out.
He may knock him out.
Right.
Anthony Joshua will get Fury in Saudi. I'd pick Anthony Joshua to beat him.
That's because people don't. I'm saying that for a reason, but people still don't get it.
They don't want to get it. They don't want to get it. But AJ beats him in Saudi. In the UK, no.
Yeah.
No. And to the fool that was, I know you're watching because you're an industry plant. Let me be very clear. After the Dillian White fight, Fury was handed a bottle of water. And he asked him, the person who gave him, he said, have you had this on you the whole time? Are you sure? And that's insinuating that Fury knows how much of a dirtbag game this is. Okay, did y'all forget about this? Let me play this for you. This was after Wilder Fury 2, where D got poisoned. Did y'all forget about this? Right
He
here?
had one in the press conference just last night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he had one just last night.
Shelly's sitting there looking at the barrel like, what's wrong with that water? And that was after the second fight, Brainiacs. He's like, what's up with the water? Why is he? You saw Shelly looking at it like, why is he not accepting the water from his fucking cousin? You're not accepting the water? You know something's wrong. Tay, didn't you tell me during the ring walk, D was like shaking his feet out so much he damn near kicked you?
Yeah, he kicked me during we was walking out. Yeah, he kicked me like 3 times. I'm like, the fuck? Yeah, he kicked me like the shaking his legs out. Yeah.
You know what? It's so amazing that through that whole experience, and it's funny, Tay, because like we're having a conversation about this now, but you know, I didn't know you, you know, at that time.
Right.
And I watched Deontay, you know, and I knew something was wrong. I just knew. I had said it when he was in the dressing room. I was like, there's something off here.
He had a zombie walk.
And it was like, it was before the ring walk and everything. I was like, there's something off here. I don't like what I'm seeing. And then when he took his mask off from his costume and everything, and I was like, this is not the same brother. I was like, there's something off.
Right.
And then later, you know, after revelations of things and everything, and I'm like, I know my mind don't fool me. I've watched too many fights. I watch fighters. I watch what you're supposed to watch about fighters, because if you're a coach and trainer, you're supposed to be able to be observant and recognize who you're looking at.
Right.
And I saw, it's just like, I've shared this before, I'll say it real quickly. It's just like when Tyson and Holyfield fought their rematch, the second fight.
Right.
And it was in the second round. Holyfield had Tyson up against the ropes, and he was kind of, you know, manhandling Tyson a little bit, and punching at him, and Tyson was looking to the ref. And I told the guys from my gym, because we were all watching it on pay-per-view that night, I told the guys I'm sitting there watching the fight with, I said, Tyson is coming apart mentally. They was like, what you talking about, man? I say, I've never seen him allow somebody manhandle him in the ring like Holyfield is doing right now. I was like, I've never seen this. He comes out in the third round and he bites Holyfield's ear.
Yep.
But I had said that I could see Tyson was coming apart mentally. There was just something that was different, and I felt very gratified after, not the fact that it turned out like it did, but the fact that I knew what I was looking at. You know what I'm saying? Right. Because that means that I'm looking at things with the right eye. And this is why, like, when I'm talking about fighters and I can be a little bit extra critical, I'm never trying to be just nasty to somebody or about somebody, unless it's Tyson Fury. But when I'm being critical, it's because I've seen so much, and I can break that down. I can even explain it. You know what I'm saying? Right. So when I saw him take that mask off, and I was like, something's wrong here. And then his legs didn't look steady, even in the first round, you know, and I'm like, you know, and remember Fury threw a body punch and he went down, but it was more like a trip more than getting hit. His legs wasn't under him. I'm like, man, there's something, this is not right here. Something's not good. So I saw that. And the first thing I was thinking was foul play. I can't help it.
Yeah, that night was crazy. That night was crazy, man. I can't wait till the book come out, man. So, you know what I mean? When the book come out, it's just gonna be a lot of truth in there. So,
and even at the time of the stoppage, when the towel came in, it looked like he was starting to come back. You know, like he had his faculties and everything, but it was like maybe something was wearing off or whatever, but it looked like he was getting ready to, and then the towel comes in. I'm like, so I can understand even that when he was like, hey, look, I'm still engaging here. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, he mentioned that a couple times before too. Yeah, he mentioned that. That was a crazy night, man.
Yeah.
It's just funny because everybody, like I said before, people was telling me, I'm like, but my thing is, how can you tell me what I did and didn't see? Like I'm not gonna lie on anybody. I know who gave him the water. I saw when water was given to him. Like, you know what I mean? So, man, that night was crazy, man. Just when I think about it, because I try not saying I don't think about it, but we've been so many fights. But that night right there in particular, that was a crazy night. Like I was telling Drew, because Drew like one of the people I told like my whole experience. Bro, my gum started bleeding. I told you that.
Yeah.
Walking to the room, my gum started. I'm like, what the fuck?
The fuck is wrong? What's that about?
Yeah. Like
That's fucking.
That was
Whatever
crazy.
the
That
fuck
whole
they
night
did,
was
man,
Yeah, that whole night was crazy.
whatever the fuck they did it.
Nah, man,
Man.
like I can say, I've been saying it for what that was, like 4 years ago. So I've been saying it for 4 years, man. And my story never changed up. I say the same thing. You know what I mean? I've been consistent. You know what I mean? But that was a crazy night, man.
I mean, they want to say what didn't happen to Deontay, but everyone started checking hand wraps and gloves after that, didn't they?
Come on, man. The first person to do it was the Dillian White and the old boy fight. Over it was during 2020. They was like the first people to fight.
In the bubble, yeah, kind of.
What's his name? The white dude that popped dirty from Russia.
Povetkin
and what's his name? Dillian White. They was the first ones. Remember, it was a good controversial about that. That was the first fight that we seen. You know what I mean? In the pandemic. You know what I mean? Yeah. So everybody started checking after that. You know what I mean?
What was the what you call it? One of the brothers was about to fight the Mexican dude. Right after that,
Oshaki
Foster. That one, Oshaki Foster. Yeah. His team caught trying to cheat him. Yeah, and we was just coming out the pandemic when that happened.
Yeah, that's actually how me and Oshaki got cool. Yeah, that's how we got cool right there.
Several people been caught, man. And then this latest shit, David McCann. Michael Fox, that shit happened.
Yeah.
And then fucking David McCann was the first fighter in Riyadh season history to be removed from a card because he popped dirty. And who's his same, I guess, dietitian or whatever? This guy, Usman, who's Tyson Fury's, I guess, dietitian, whoever the fuck he is. It's the same shit. So what are we talking about here? We just making it up? Bullshit. And then Usyk is getting all this praise because he's won. But he's entered the world wiser because of what's happening to all these fighters, what has happened to all these fighters.
Yeah.
So he saw what happened to Deontay and Oshaki and everything else. He says, okay, we got to watch these guys. We ain't drinking no water. We watching hand wraps. We checking gloves. All of that shit. And Usyk is not a super big heavyweight himself. So why isn't anyone saying that he's stupid? No, he's smart because he watched everyone. Yeah. He watched the bullshit. And, look, I'm going to give him his props, but already, and I'm going to dig in on, Shakur tomorrow. Because, man, is that little boy eating his words. But all this talk about...
And I know that Usyk speaks better English than he lets on. That's a shield. That's a defensive shield. Because I work around Ukrainian people, and let me tell you something. Some things that they do understand fluently, it does. But he uses it as a shield. And I don't blame him. You know what I mean? It's good because that way... it's almost like playing dumb or whatever, but he know exactly what's going on, which is why I said he trained for everything that Fury does. which is why he fought Fury so effectively. And he has the talent and the ability to be able to get things done because he's that guy. But it's like people look, and I'm gonna tell you something. I said this about Andy Lee. Andy Lee, former world champion and everything. I said, if you want to continue to stay aboard a sinking Titanic, be right there with those people. I said, but you're too smart and valuable of a coach and trainer now to continue to align yourself with such, downgraded people and everything. You need to get away from that and strike out on your own or something or whatever. But that stuff right there, it's not going to do you any favors. No
Absolutely
favors.
not. And Tay Jones had to grow. Salute Tay, man. Salute to you.
Salute to Tay, yes.
And I'm gonna stay on this point tomorrow. I see our brother Hen Dog asking what a shitty cuz do this time. Y'all remember when he said that Fury's better than Ali? He'd beat Ali. Y'all remember when he said that? Y'all remember when he said Tyson Fury's the cheat code? He's 6'9" and all this, that, and the third. It's just further proof that these young kids don't know about. They might be really good in the ring and athletic as it pertains to how they work the craft. But they don't know the craft, they don't know the sport, and they don't respect the history. And this is why I don't respect a lot of these kids. They're not students of the game like Devin Haney is. When Tank Davis told you he didn't even know who Marvin Hagler was, he should have lost. If you gave him 100 points, he should have dropped down to 75 right there. How dare you? One thing I always say about Mike Tyson was a student of the game. He would watch he could break down different fighters from any era. You can't be around Costamato and not white. Costamato had a library of shit. And Mike would sit there and study it. I'll give him that. Tank ain't like that. And now we know Shakur ain't like that. They're good at the craft. Some of these kids, all these kids, to be at a professional level, you got to be good. Now, he's good at protecting himself. But you can't sit back and say, man, look, you versus this guy, you versus Nakatani will be like a little, you're going to have to be like, hey, Shakur, you're going to have to be like Aaron Pryor versus Alexis Arguello. He's going to give you a blank square. He's going to give you a blank stare like, who? And then when you show him the Arguello Pryor fight, he's going to be like, I can't do that. Well, you're going to have to because Nakatani's going to come and try and take your head off. You see? These kids are not students of the game. Had he had paid attention to Fury and really watched Ali, he wouldn't have said what he said. Because what Usyk did, Ali would have did Fury 10 times worse and probably knocked him out. How dare you?
No body punches.
No body punch at all. How dare you? And you would think Shakur, with all the skill he has, would know better. You know what these kids are? I'm 49 years old. I've been around the whole time since hip-hop started. Do you think these kids today, you think I'm going to sit back and have a conversation about hip-hop with a 21-year-old, with an 18-year-old, with a 16-year-old? Wearing eyeliner in skinny jeans? You think I'm going to talk to him about, you think I'm going to listen to him? His opinion on hip-hop is two different things. That's how
he'll be on tomorrow. He got to handle some business.
Oh, bet. I would never have that conversation. And it's like talking with these kids. And it goes to show you, I'm glad Shakur said what he said and he's backtracking. Because that's what I'm going to talk about in the morning. That shows you these kids are really good at what they do, but they don't know shit. They can't relate to anything. If you tell Shakur, yo, look, man, I need to see a little Sweet Pea Whitaker in this fight because against this guy, he gonna be like, huh? Well, I know the name, but how does he fight? And he'll watch that fight and say, well, I'm incapable of doing that because Sweet Pea was mean. Shakur ain't mean like that. And I have tons of examples. So you got this motherfucker talking about that Fury's better than Ali. Now he's backtracking because he lost to a significantly smaller guy, right? Yeah, Tank not knowing who the fuck Marvin Hagler was, or I don't know if he knew who he was and never saw him fight. I mean, this is what we're dealing with here. You see, these fighters from yesteryear, you talk to them, you say, well, why'd you start fighting? A majority, maybe not all, a majority will say, well, I started fighting because of this guy. And I started fighting because of this guy. And I grew up watching this guy. And I like watching this guy. These kids today say, oh, well, I was just put in the gym and I just started beating people up and here I am. They're not motivated by shit. You understand? So this is crazy stuff here. So as far as this GOAT talk with Usyk, look, man, here's what I'm gonna say. As it pertains to today's standards, which isn't really shit, you got to put Usyk up there by today's standards. But when I say check the body of work, I'm also saying check the attempts. Deontay Wilder was trying to do everything that they handed Usyk. They paved a way for Usyk to accomplish what he accomplished. Didn't I tell you they're going to do that? Guess who else they trying to do it to or do it for? Didn't I tell you they're trying to do that for Vasily Lomachenko? But he fumbled the ball 3 times. And he's not retired yet. They still might try and do it. Now that Devin is at 140, they still might try and pave that way for him to be undisputed at 135 before he gets out the game. Whether he ends up fighting Tank or Tank fumbles the bag somewhere and he could just pick up a WBA belt. And y'all have yourselves to blame over that shit, but never mind. Y'all don't want to hear it, but Usyk ducked Deontay Wilder, y'all. I'm gonna keep saying that. And people are saying, well, he needs to fight Deontay before he leaves. I know that's the sexy thing to say. I'd like to see that. But here's the reality. No one's gonna hold it against him if he doesn't fight him. Because the public's last sighting of Deontay was him losing to Zhilei Zhang.
Yep.
They've been trying to write Deontay off for God knows how long, so they celebrate that loss. You understand? So now I know I saw Triple D press him and say, hey, man, I want to run it back. And he told Turkey Al-Sheikh, run it. We'll see. And I'm going to say this.
That was Frank Warren, by the way. Frank Warren made Dubois get up in the ring and do that.
You made him say that?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, here's what I'm going to say. That fight happens in Saudi. I give Daniel Dubois a better chance, if not win. I will stand by this, and I know D won't say this shit out loud, but I will stand by this. That was in the middle of that Ukrainian war, and they were in Poland. And I think Dubois was like, you know what? The Hurdies done stole the knockout victory from me. If I end up beating this guy, I got to worry about me and my family getting our black asses to the airport. And we're in Poland? I don't think so. So he was thinking self-preservation. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. Whatever. And if I knew Daniel and he admitted it to me, that'd be something I'll have to maintain off the record. But this is just my opinion. So as far as that's concerned, I think I'll pick Daniel Dubois in the rematch, especially if it's happening in Saudi. But as far as him fighting Deontay, no one's going to hold that against him. But watch this. No one will hold that against Usyk for not fighting Deontay. But y'all still got Vasily Lomachenko on this super high pedestal. Deontay Wilder's stupid for fighting guys that outweigh him on average 25 pounds. But no one says that about Usyk. Right. I see y'all niggas. Whatever, man. Stormy, let me know how they can find you, good brother.
Everybody can find me right here on YouTube. The channel is Stormy B Man. That's Stormy B Man in all caps, but no cap. Yep.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, salute to y'all. Salute to everybody. The Venmo, the Zelle, the Cash App, Super Chat. I'll be back talking boxing tomorrow. know what I mean? Oh, salute to Sugar Hill. Soak that picture in. Car fire. Bronx on deck.
Move! Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.